Hello and welcome to MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, alongside Lynn Limponda, my sign language interpreter. Tonight, our top stories. President Chakwera arrives in Rome, Italy, ahead of his official engagements in the Vatican City and Rome. The Malawi Electoral Commission make optimistic that the newly introduced election management devices will enhance transparency in the upcoming electoral processes. And in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets has beaten Red Arrows of Zambia by 2-1 in the first leg of the CAF Championship. Well, I'm glad you could join us. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has arrived in Rome, Italy, ahead of his official engagements in the Vatican City and Rome. Upon arrival at the Rome Military Airport, he was welcomed by Monsignor Javier Fernandez, head of protocol for the Vatican, Malawi's ambassador to the Vatican, Joseph Mpinganjira, and Malawi's envoy to Italy, Naomi Ngwira. Dr. Chakwera is in Italy on the invitation of the head of the Catholic Church and leader of the Vatican City. Apart from holding discussions with the Pope in the Vatican, he will also meet head of the community of Sant'Egidio, an organization supported by the Italian government, and hold talks with Chief of the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, in Rome, Italy. Our reporter Blessings Kanache is in the Vatican City, from where he reports.
In 1929, Vatican became the smallest state in the world after Pope Pius XI at that particular time made an agreement with the Italian leader Benito Mussolini to make sure that the Vatican becomes an independent state. This was after the construction of St. Peter's Basilica in 1626 over the tomb of St. Peter's grave in Rome. And starting from that time, the Vatican has become the center of the Catholic Church. And the visit by President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera to the Vatican will signify the importance of the Church to Malawi and how the Church has contributed positively to the development of Malawi as the nation. Joseph Mpinganjira is the ambassador of Malawi to the Vatican.
It is important because as the head of the Catholic Church, the Pope is also interested in making sure that indeed the people of God, in this case we include the Catholics, are being cared for in terms of human rights issues, the social development. So it's something important. And at the same time, it is important for the country, for the President of Malawi, to express an appreciation of the role that the Catholic Church is doing in Malawi. Maybe there should also be this understanding that when our President is meeting the Pope, they will be discussing issues of pastoral nature, of how the Catholic Church is developing, the freedom that the Catholic Church is experiencing, because in some countries there are still elements of persecution, but this is not happening in Malawi. So this is something important for the both states. But then after meeting the Pope, the President will also meet the Secretary of State. And for the Secretary of State, the issues to be discussed like matters of state. You know that each country, like the Vatican, has also an embassy, an ambassador who represents the Vatican in Malawi, but based in Zambia. Until now, we don't have the embassy of the Vatican in the country. So maybe these are some of the issues that the Vatican will say, okay, how would we improve our relationship in terms of state matters?
The importance of the Catholic Church to Malawi cannot be overemphasized because Malawi has benefited a lot from the developments that have come forward from the Catholic Church.
You know that as a church, the Catholic Church is very active in the different ways in the country of Malawi, whether it's in the sector of education, the health sector, the social sector. So all these are issues that, like the two states, the heads of the two states will be discussing.
The visit by the Malawi leader to the Vatican shall cement the relationship that exists between the two nations. Blessings Kanache, NBC News, Vatican.
Malawian ambassador to Italy, Dr. Naomi Ngwira, says Malawi is set to benefit from the 5.5 billion euro, an equivalent of about 6 trillion kwacha, funding from the Italian government to some selected African countries. Ngwira made the remarks ahead of President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera's visit to Italy, immediately after meeting the head of the Catholic Church in the Vatican. She said the Italian government also announced plans to increase its funding to its community of Sant'Egidio organization to support its humanitarian activities in Malawi.
When the president has finished his engagement at the Vatican, he will come to Rome or Italy, to put it differently, and he will have 2 meetings. One is at the community of Sant'Egidio, and the second one is at the Food and Agriculture Organization. No, these meetings are very important, and we have been wanting the president to have them for some time. You will recall that the first arrangement for the president to come to the Vatican was in April, but that meeting was then cancelled. Now, when this new appointment was fixed, we were excited to also arrange these other meetings. And the first one with Sant'Egidio is important because this is a community that has services in Malawi, provides services in Malawi. It is aligned to the Roman Catholic Church, and they provide services in HIV/AIDS counseling, treatment, but also in diagnostic work in some clinics in Malawi. Now, you may know that in January, the government of Italy launched the Mattei Plan, which is their Africa Partnership Strategy. And when they did that, the government sent a mission to Malawi in July. And among that mission, or in that mission, were representatives of the community of Sant'Egidio.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has expressed optimism that Malawi will benefit immensely from the just-ended 44th Ordinary SADC Summit held in Zimbabwe. Blessings Cheleuka with the details.
Speaking at Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport in Harare, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera noted that the summit has opened up more opportunities for Malawi. Following the event, SADC's new chairperson, Dr. Emerson Mnangagwa, hosted a banquet for delegates at his state house where he urged SADC leaders to remain united in the face of common challenges.
I think it's just been worth it, more than we had anticipated, I guess, but it's been a wonderful moment. Zimbabwe's leadership at this time will be supported by everyone, and the decisions that's being made have really lifted our spirits to the end that we believe SADC is going to prosper because we have put emphasis on the right things. Oh yeah, I mean, I have had meetings, and meeting with Clever Gatete has been a great moment because he's coming to Malawi, and we will be engaging in order for us to make sure that our economic trajectory is really taking off. I also touch base with various presidents because of the situation we are in. For example, the president of Tanzania, and we'll be making arrangements for us to purchase maize at subsidized price because she understands how, as brothers and sisters, we need each other.
Malawi's Deputy Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Major General Elias Mpaso, described President Chakwera's trip as successful.
Our impression is that the SADC summit has gone on well, and the president was very happy to be here, despite the fact that there was a lot of work, but he managed to do all the activities that were supposed to be done here in Zimbabwe.
President Chakwera arrived in Harare on August 15th for the summit. Blessings Chedeuka, MBC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Vice President Dr. Michael Usi has arrived in Mzuzu, where he is expected to conduct a number of official engagements. Speaking on arrival in Mzuzu, Dr. Usi said government is committed to ensuring that people in the northern region have equal access to loans and other development projects for equitable social economic development of the country. Hassan Piri reports.
Speaking to the people that gathered at Katoto roundabout in Mzuzu, the vice president, who is visiting the northern region for the first time after being appointed to the position, said looking at his background, it was a miracle that the president ended up appointing him to become state vice president. He said he's going to make sure that the poor are prioritized with assistance to transform their lives. The vice president said he will meet NIF officials to discuss how people plying their businesses in markets and other places receive collateral-free loans to boost their businesses. He emphasized that market vendors get at least 250,000 kwacha each to boost business capital. He advised NIF officials not to discriminate anyone on political grounds when disbursing the loans. The vice president further said he will not waste time on petty issues, but focus on serious government business that will help to transform Malawi. On that point, he advised the civil servants to be efficient when discharging their duties. A cross-section of UTM NEC members, regional and district officials, traditional authority Tula from Nkatabe, and supporters were among those that welcomed the Vice President Dr. Michael Usi in Mzuzu. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Mzuzu.
The Malawi Electoral Commission MEC has expressed optimism that the newly introduced election management devices EMDs will significantly enhance transparency in the upcoming electoral processes. MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Ntalimanja made the remarks during an engagement with civil society organizations and the media on the functionalities of the EMDs ahead of the voter registration process set to begin in September. More in this report by Madalitsom Hango.
As the voter registration period approaches, MEC has begun engaging development partners, the media, and the CSOs on the new electoral management devices to be used during the registration process. Speaking during the meeting, MEC Chairperson Justice Annabel Ntalimanja says the Commission will ensure that the devices are accessible in all registration centers across the country. She emphasized that the EMDs will be instrumental in various electoral processes, including voter registration and verification.
The machine and the system are secure, so all the data is going to be secure, because one of the issues that came up, one of the highlights was surrounding security, but we can assure Malawians that the machines are secure and the system is secure as well.
One of the participants, who is also the chairperson of Gender Coordination Network, NGO GCN, Magi Kateora Banda, commended MEC for adopting new technology in electoral processes. He says this will enhance efficiency. Banda added that MEC should consider assisting people with disabilities to ensure their participation during the election processes.
People have to be made aware of in terms of what the technology is all about, how it's going to capture their data, and how it's going to be used. I think that is the only thing that needs to be emphasized on.
The meeting brought together various civil society organizations, the media, as well as religious leaders. Madalitsom Hango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching MBC News with me, Kumbukani Piri, and my sign language interpreter tonight is Lini Mponda. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories. President Chakwera arrives in Rome, Italy, ahead of his official engagements in the Vatican City and Rome. The Malawi Electoral Commission MEC optimistic that the newly introduced election management devices will enhance transparency in the upcoming electoral processes. And in sports, FCB Nyasabik Bullets has beaten Red Arrows of Zambia by 2-1 in the first leg of the CAF Championship.
It keeps getting better and better. After successfully opening Maranatha Capital Girls Academy, your request to open Maranatha Capital Boys Academy has come to pass. Welcome to Maranatha Capital Boys Academy, situated 50 kilometers from Lilongwe at Imponela Trading Center. We uphold our promise to produce the best in all students, a perfect diet, a conducive learning environment with dedicated members of staff is what we stand for. Turn that dream into reality by joining Maranatha Capital Boys Academy. Register now while places are still available by contacting us on 0888 993 232, 0993 832 832 and 0991 276 273. Maranatha Private Academy. We set the pace, others follow.
Welcome to St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela, where we prepare our students for the future with excellence, diversity, and innovation. St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela offers a wide range of academic programs that cater for the interests and abilities of our students. Our teachers are qualified, experienced, and dedicated to helping learners achieve their goals. We have 3 schools under St. Peter's Private Schools. We have a primary school, boys secondary school, and a girls secondary school at your disposal. Science and technology are crucial in today's world. We have audio visual learning facilities, state-of-the-art laboratory, and a modern and well-equipped library. At St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela, we also celebrate our diversity and our culture. We also prepare our students for the next stage of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Join us at St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela today and discover your potential. St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela.
Welcome back to NBC News. Delegates to the opposition Democratic Progressive Party DPP elective convention are casting their votes to elect office bearers for the next 5 years. The convention is taking place at Komesa Hall in Blantyre. Chairperson for the convention, George Chaponda, says the results are expected to be announced later tonight by the Malawi Electoral Commission MEC, which is presiding over the election. Earlier, DPP President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika said he felt honoured to have been endorsed to represent the party in the 2025 general election. He made the remarks while officially opening the convention at Komesa Hall in Blantyre. Mutharika urged delegates to elect leaders who will drive the party's growth and expressed confidence that his success will be among those to be elected. Now, the Malawi Police Service has arrested 696 people over various crimes committed during an Interpol operation. According to the police spokesperson, Peter Kalaya, also during the 3-day operation, they recovered suspected stolen goods such as motor vehicles, counterfeit products and others. Our reporter, Wopi Mwangulu, spoke to Kalaya.
We have arrested 696 suspects and recovered stolen property worth millions of kwajas in a special 3-day intelligence-led operation, which we conducted from Wednesday. We called this Operation Kutwa, and it was done concurrently with our sister police forces across the SADC region, coordinated at Interpol headquarters in Harare, Zimbabwe. And the overall aim of the operation was to bust out and dismantle transnational criminal syndicates that operate in the region. So here in Malawi, the operation has been a success because we have arrested these 696 suspects and recovered 2 motor vehicles which were reported stolen in South Africa, and they were on our Interpol already notices. Apart from that, we have also recovered a lot of government properties, for example, ESCOM cables and water post meters. We have also recovered counterfeit products and cannabis sativa and other properties worth millions. So as a service, we see this as a success, and it has served the purpose. And going forward as a service, we promise Malawians that we'll continue to organize and execute operations like this for the better of Malawians, because we want to achieve a safe and secure nation for our people. Again, operations like this foster cooperation between us as a service and our sister institutions across the region.
Private Schools Association of Malawi PRISM says the declining pass rate for the PSLC and JC examinations is quite disturbing. PRISM chairperson, who is also managing director of Maranatha Schools, Ernest Kawonga, challenged teachers to engage in extra gear in order for the results to pick up in the next academic year.
I think there is not a lot to be desired, because we are supposed to be excelling all the time. So when we hear that we are dwindling again, and this year we didn't have any disturbances like last year. Last year we had the Fred, remember, even the schools were closed. Some schools were told to look at their structures, but this year we never had that. So to hear that results have come down, have dwindled, where it's a lot undesired. And does it mean that the exams were tough? Does it mean that the students were tough? So there are lots of questions which are coming up, but at the same time we're saying let's forge ahead, and the teachers should jack up so that we should have an improvement all the time, because we are looking for the data all the time rather than going down. So it's a war again to PRISM.
The city councils of Blantyre and Lilongwe say they are sharing notes on how best to enhance development in their respective cities. Blantyre City Mayor Joseph Makwinja said this in Lilongwe when officials from Blantyre City Council joined Lilongwe City Council on a tour of development projects around the city. Margaret Mabando reports.
Blantyre City Mayor Joseph Magwinja says they are visiting Lilongwe to explore challenges and successes in the Lilongwe City Council, especially in the implementing of projects. After appreciating the rehabilitation of roads and other development projects around Lilongwe City, Councillor Magwinja said he was impressed.
Today I'm very, very much impressed with what Lilongwe Mayor and all the council of Lilongwe are doing. We have inspected or visited more than 7 projects which are almost complete. You know, like this road where we are, I didn't know that it can be like it is today, but I'm very happy that our colleagues are doing much, much better, and we have learned something.
The Lilongwe City Mayor Esther Sagawa says the quality of the ongoing maintenance works of roads and bridges in Lilongwe City has been outstanding. She, however, appealed to residents of Lilongwe City to follow what contractors advise so that they deliver quality works.
The contractor lamented that there are some challenges, more especially with the diversions that they have put in place. People do not want to use them, as well as when they are working, I think they are having some disturbances from the community, which is our duty as leaders, and we are going to work hand in hand with the block leaders as well as the councillors to make sure that we provide to them a conducive environment for them to deliver a very perfect job.
The officials from the 2 city councils, among other places, toured Mtandile Airwing Road, Area 49 Shire Road, Area 2 Bombi Road and Dzuka Box Culvert in Senti. Margaret Mabando, MBC News, Lilongwe.
And finally, to sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets has beaten Red Arrows of Zambia by 2-1 in the first leg of the CAF Championship. Babatunde Adepoju scored the first goal before Precious Piri scored the second for Bullets. Ricky Bander scored the only goal for the visitors. Meanwhile, the second leg will be played on Saturday next week in Zambia. The match took place at the Bingu National Stadium in Lilongwe. Well, that item also wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. President Chakwera arrives in Rome, Italy, ahead of his official engagements in the Vatican City and Rome. The Malawi Electoral Commission MEC optimistic that the newly introduced election management devices will enhance transparency in the upcoming electoral processes. And in sports, FCB Nyasa Big Bullets has beaten Red Arrows of Zambia by 2-1 in the first leg of the CAF Championship. For more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms, Facebook, X, and our website, mbc.mw. You can also access MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Kumbukani Piri, and my sign language interpreter tonight was Lini Mponda. Thanks for watching and good night.